Alright guys, we're going to be working on the 05 Nissan, replacing the stock air intake with a cold air intake. Before you get started, you might want to turn your wheels to the left because we will need to get into here and remove one of these covers.
Hello, we got 2 pieces of these.
Part of the cold air intake.
Big ones.
So to start off with, hold on Bubba, start off with, you're going to be taking these Allen screws off. 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have the 4th one in. Mine's missing. It's been missing. But you'll take that off and take this little cover off. Alright guys, we got the cover off. Next we're going to go ahead and disconnect the battery. That way we could be, because we are going to be disconnecting the air flow mass sensor. So we don't want to get anything shorted out or anything when we do that. And to get this clip off, just take a little flathead screwdriver push and then pull at the same time, and it'll come right off. Obviously I need both my hands to do that. And then once we do take that off, we'll go ahead and loosen right here, this guy here, and then at the intake as well. And then loosen our hose clamps, and then we will need to take our old air filter out, the whole box and everything, because where the new cold air intake is going to sit. Once you have that clip back, you got to pull pretty tough on that to get that off the hose, off your air filter. And then obviously this just comes off, this one will slide off, and then this just pulls right on up. No other clips or screws or bolts holding it together. And next we're going to go ahead and get into our air filter here. Top part will come off and out. Save your sensor there. The new kit should come with a converter to be able to install it right back in. And then next we'll be taking out this box here, which I got a screw here. And then I think there's 2 grommets down below. Alright, to get the lower box of your olden air box out, you just got 1 screw here. It goes right there. Take it out, and then you kind of got to wiggle it out. You have 2 little 1 and 2 little grommet screws in there. They just kind of wiggle out, and then we'll take this little part out. Just don't want to break these clips. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. Alright, we got the back one removed. Alright, now that we got the air filter up top all done and removed, we're going to come down here at the wheel well on the driver's side, and you'll have 2 screws down here, just Phillips screws, hump screw. And then it looks like we got 1 more up here about in the middle. I don't know if y'all can see that right there. And then 1 at the very top up here. That way we can take this wheel well cover up. And this is where we're going to be at right here. This is the old part of the old air intake. And this is where the new filter is going to take. Intake is going to be at. And we have a bolt right here. It looks like a 10mm or a Phillips head. That's holding this one in. And that looks like that's about it. Then we'll take that out and get to the next step. Alright, there actually is 1 more bolt. Alright guys, there's 1 more bolt that's on this bottom one. Kind of in a pain. It was right there. And it's 10mm. And once that comes off, actually, it's not even holding on that good. Mine wasn't tight, mine kind of came off, wiggled it off. Again, it's right, this bolt's right here, 10mm, and that'll come off. And then we can get the new one installed now. Alright guys, last thing you want to do is get your mass airflow sensor off of your old box, which is just 4 screws each corner, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll get it hooked up to the new filter, cold air intake. I got some of the parts right here and some are in the garage right now. Alright guys, came with a little adapter piece. This one here on the left hand side is going to go to your air mass flow sensor. That way we can put it back in, plug the sensor back in, and still hopefully have the no engine code. And once we get that on, I just use the same bolts that came off. They do send you new hardware, but the bolts are a little longer. and I'm just going to use the old ones because they fit, they're going to hold, and it'll be all right. And then once I get that set up, get in here, I'll kind of put this in place and make sure everything's going to fit at the same spot before I tighten everything down. Alrighty guys, we got this all tightened up. Your elbow piece is going to come in first, and then you're going to adapt into your airflow sensor. I went ahead and plugged it in. I have not connected my battery yet. And then your long pull piece is going to go in, and then connect it to your your filter down here at the bottom. The only thing I cannot figure out is your little piece to connect to. It's supposed to connect into your ground wire over here to kind of help have it sit, because obviously mine's gonna be loose. I'm gonna have to figure something out to actually just make it kind of sit in place. All right, gotten our all button back up, put our cover back over the engine. Again, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get this to kind of stay a little tighter. Get some type of adapter, or put something down here to maybe right here, kind of push against it, kind of hold it in place a little better. For the time being, I'll just have to keep an eye on it, make sure nothing comes loose. I'll double check your fittings, make sure all your fittings are nice and tight. Airflow sensor back on, batteries plugged in. Alrighty guys, on our bracket here, see if I can get better right here. It actually has a lot of play on that weld, so you can move it. I had to bend mine back a little bit more this way, and I just put a little self tapper in here to hold that, and as you can see now, it's not clinging around as much as it was. So just a little heads up on you. If you have the same type of bracket here, see if you can pull it just a little bit, not enough to break it, but just enough play, and the weld's still holding, so I mean it's not going to go anywhere. So again, 2005 Nissan Altima cold air intake install.